First time I met Lisa, I believe it was in house 1, and she was in room 2, if I'm not mistaken. And when I first saw her, my first thought was she was like a long-haired guinea pig. I thought it was like really cute. But I believe Lisa is a survivor. Her little name is Warrior Lisa, and I respect that because I know she's been through a lot of surgeries in her life. She's been through a lot, and that's something you can really, really respect about anybody or anything. Since I've personally been here, I've been here about a year now. Whenever I give fluids to Lisa, she does really good. She's one of the best cats to give fluids to because once you pick her up, put her in your lap, and you get ready to start the needle, she is really relaxed. She's really calm. She's been doing it for a very long time, as you can tell, and it makes me feel good. I can see the growth in her. I believe Elisa was like the first cat I ever did fluids to by myself, and she knew more what to do than I did, and she made me more confident, in my opinion. So yeah, that made me feel good, and that's a moment I do think about whenever I do something more challenging.
I need you to cooperate with me.
Hi everybody, this is Lisa, Miss Lisa. We call her Mama's Lisa. She runs to me for that one. Lisa came to us, gosh, a long time ago, 12, 13 years ago. She was this big. Came from animal control. A rescue had taken her siblings, all of her siblings, and left her behind. When she first arrived, she had pneumonia. So Lisa had the first of her 3 feeding tubes that she's had in her lifetime. If you ever had a cat that's not eating and is real sick, ask your vet to give you a feeding tube. It's a wonderful tool. As you can see here, she is 13 years later. She's grown up to be a big girl. She's gone through 2 serious health crises in her lifetime, on top of the pneumonia when she was an itty bitty baby. One of them, one of her other roommates died. Our vet called us and said, "Come now." And he looked at me when I got there and he goes, "I do not know what's wrong with her, but I do know she will die if she stays here." I said, "Well, okay, tell Raleigh I'm on my way." We got in the car and we started driving. We were taking her to the urgent care where they have serious specialists who could handle a very, very sick cat. And nobody knew what was wrong with her. I had a good idea that it was E. coli. I kept calling E. coli because now we had a whole room full of sick cats. One had died, but it was going to take a month to get the necropsy back that would tell us it was in fact E. coli. And they couldn't test her for it because she had been on antibiotics at our vet's office. So Lisa had a zillion tests. We knew what it was not because they were doing test after test after test after test, kept ruling things out. But the one thing they could not rule out or rule in was E. coli. They finally sent her home after, I don't know, 8, 9 days and many, many, many thousands of dollars later with a feeding tube because she wasn't eating and she needed lots of meds. And they said, "We do not know what's wrong with her." And I'm like, "I do. She's got E. coli." And I was right. We started treating her for E. coli, and gee, she got so much better. We treated the whole room, and everybody got well. So that was crisis number 2. Her last crisis was almost death. Your intestines are a nice little tube. They're supposed to stay nice and round. She had a stricture in the middle of hers. Things couldn't go through. So we're having to give her medicine, which, believe me, she does not like medicine in any way, shape, or form. But it was giving her serious diarrhea because it had to be able to go through the constriction. Back to the doctors. She had surgery to remove that because that was the only choice, is to remove that and sew her intestines back together. And she did well for the first day, and then she spiked to 105. Back to Raleigh. The intestines were leaking. She was now septic. That's life-threatening. They had her in surgery a few hours later because her intestines were leaking. She's got a belly full of peritonitis and she's septic. And we're having this serious conversations now, do we euthanize this cat? And I'm like, I can't, because we put her in this position of having this surgery. I felt guilty, to be honest with you. Being selfish, I felt guilty. I could not. We had to fight. If she said she'd had enough, we would have let her go, but she did not say she'd had enough. They gave us another feeding tube number 3. So, a week in Raleigh, thousands of dollars later, she came home. And here she is several years later, doing fabulous. You made that miracle happen. Your support for the cats made that miracle happen for her. We couldn't have done it without you. We can't do it every day without you. So Lisa says thank you very much for helping save her life, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the rest of the cats say thank you very much for saving their lives because you make all the difference. Blind Cat Rescue is here because of you. So thank you very, very much.